Hello there, fellow YouTube subscribers. Today you're here with Josh's RC, showing you how to install and pre-oil Proline dual rate spring titanium nitrate shocks. And starting off, I already cut the top on the oil and I already took the top off of the shock. So here we go, we're going to fill it up. And I'll show you how to prime the shocks after I fill it up. So you just want to squeeze the oil in there and bring it almost all the way to the top, if you can see that, about an eighth of an inch away. And you want to take the bottom and the top and you want to slowly push it up and let it go down. Slowly push it up and let it go down. Slowly push it up all the way and let it go down. And then once you get it primed a couple of times, you just give it a couple ups and downs, make sure all the air bubbles are out of there. Which you're going to see a couple little bubbles, the little baby bubbles. So that's just from the oil traveling through the holes within the piston. Okay, now that that's primed, sealed, and done, we're going to reinstall the cap that we took off. Just like so. Make sure it's fully tightened on so that way it doesn't pop off. Then you're gonna take it in between your fingers and just push it up and down to make sure that it feels somewhat stiff and correctly. You got no air bubbles and there's no skip spot in there. Okay, once you do that, you're gonna come around to the front of the vehicle like this, and you're gonna see here on my lower control arm where the hole is somewhat worn already. That's where the screw already was. So we're going to have to pop the ball out of the factory shock and put it in the aftermarket shock, because the one that comes with the aftermarket shock is a little wider and it's for the RPMA arms, which I've already popped out and put here in my little baggie, so that way when I get my RPMA arms I'll be able to reinstall those and then put them on the RPMA arms. So what we're going to do here is take that in between our fingers like this. We're going to press. If it comes out here, we'll just put it on the countertop and press like so. And when we get it started, take your fingernail and pop the ball out. Once you pop the ball out, you're going to install it into your new Proline dual rate shock and press it into the bottom just like so. Once you get to that point, you're going to come over here to the truck, to the front, to the control arm, and you're going to take your bottom shock control arm screw. You're going to place your shock in line with the hole, which is the outside hole on mine because that's where I prefer to run it. I'm going to switch my Allen key out to the smaller head so that way I can tighten the bottom. The bigger Allen key is for the top. So I'll tighten this up. And I got my fancy Duratrack ratcheting screwdriver here. Works pretty great. If you don't have one, you should definitely go out and get one. Makes it a lot faster to install the screw. I do use a battery powered screw gun to pull the screw off, but I do not use the battery powered screw gun to install the screws because I don't want to strip out the plastic with the metal screw. So now I'm going to swap out for the H25 Allen head. I just took off the H20, which is the bottom screw, and I'm going to put it through the top shock cap. It's a sleeved screw, as you can see here, to fill the void on the top shock cap. And then from there, I'm going to screw it into the shock tower, like so. And you want to make sure that your shock is over the sleeve on the screw. Okay, then you want to fully tighten that where it's snug, and then turn it about a 1/16 to an 1/8 more, And there it is, fully installed Proline dual rate shock. And you're going to proceed to do the rest all the way around the vehicle. As you can see, yes, it's kind of dirty. I went out bashing yesterday and never got a chance to clean it. So I already got the two installed on this side, as you can tell, minus my knuckle being installed, because earlier when I was actually driving my truck out on the street in the driveway in front of my house, I ran into the stop sign trying to pay attention to my kids and me and 3 RCs going around the road, you know, on the road. And it's kind of hard to keep track of you and 2 other kids with RC cars and not try to get them ran over at the same time you're trying to have fun. But we're going to go to the park later, which will take care of all that nonsense. So anyways, back to our shocks here. We're going to take number H25, the bigger Allen key, and we're going to unscrew the top of the shock like so. Okay. And once you get that fully out of there, just like that, you'll want to place the screw to the side where you know it's going to be and you can see it, and get it ready for the install. Now we're going to switch over to the H20 Allen key, and we're going to take off the bottom. But in order to do that, you have to take off your tire first, which I've already done and prepped on the other side. So you want your Traxxas lug nut wrench for the Traxxas lug nut, and you want to take off the lug nut so you can remove your Traxxas tire. If you got aftermarket tire or something, then it's your aftermarket tire. Once you do that, your turnbuckle here, which should be your H20, you're going to want to undo your turnbuckle screw to your turnbuckle, pop that off, and once you pop that out, then you will be able to remove your H25 Allen screw for the bottom of your shock, which is not an H25, sorry folks, getting a little excited here. It's the H20 Allen key. Make sure my Duratrack ratcheting screwdriver is on reverse. You know, lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's the way it is. Unless you got reverse thread pattern, then it's going to be the total opposite. So once you remove the bottom screw, like so, you're going to pull out your Traxxas factory single rate shock, which is not very good. The dual rate is a lot stiffer, and it's got the bigger millimeter titanium bore Allen, or not Allen, sorry, the shock shaft that's coated. So we're going to take our aftermarket Proline dual rate shock again, and we're going to pop the ball out of our factory shock. We're going to press it down on the counter again to pop it out like so. Once you get it to that point, it's halfway out, you take your fingernails and you pop it out like that. Once you get that out, you reinstall it on your Proline shock. Put it back on the counter somewhat like this. There you go. And press down, and there you go. Once you got it to that point, you'll take and put in the bottom half first. Make sure it fits into your control arm correctly without fighting it. Once you get it to that point, you'll take your bottom short Allen screw with the beveled head. As you can see, it's not a flat head, it's a beveled head to the shank, to the threads. You will put that in there like that. You will take your screwdriver, ratcheting screwdriver or regular screwdriver, whichever you prefer, and retighten it back onto the lower control arm in whichever hole you prefer to put your truck in, or the screw in your shock into the bottom control arm. Okay, once you get that on there, you will switch over to your H25 Allen screw, or Allen, to reinstall the top screw to the shock tower to complete your shock install. And that is going in the middle hole. It's where it comes factory, so I just reinstall it back into the factory hole. And you will tighten that all the way, just like that. Like I said, get it snug, and then give it another 1/16 to an 1/8 turn, and you got your dual rate Proline shocks installed. Along with this, you will now reinstall your turnbuckle, which I got the Traxxas TRX upgraded adjustable turnbuckles that I've had for a while. So we'll get this up in here like so. Alright, bear with me. And we'll get the bolt in there like that. And we'll go back to the H20 Allen. We'll re-tighten this. Like I said, once you get it snug, just like that, give it a little 16th turn, done. Then you will take your wheel tire, reinstall it back onto the axle, take your axle nut, spin it on with your fingers, make sure it's not cross-threaded. After you get it to that point, you will take your Traxxas factory lug wrench and retighten the lug nut. And there you go. There's a set of Proline front shocks reinstalled on the truck. And I'll just have to put this other knuckle on, which I'm going to end the video there because I got the shocks on. That's all pretty much what I wanted to show you at this point in time. So please like and subscribe, and have a great day.